one man, some knives, and one stone to sharp them all. Today we have what I think is the world's most popular, actually take that back, it is the world's most popular sharpening stone on the internet at this point in time. It is sometime in February, the year is 2020, and you cannot go anywhere online and search sharpening things or think about sharpening things without coming into contact with this stone. This is the Sharp Pebble sharpening stone. One stone to sharp them all. All right, so here's the thing. I don't want to drag this review on longer than I have to, so we're going to get right into this. I've been using this stone for the past little over 2 weeks now, if I remember correctly. I've used this stone sharpening everything from my everyday carry knives, everything from VG10 to S110V. Yep, whittled hair immediately. I've also used it to sharpen cheap kitchen knives, scissors, a meat cleaver that I made a while back. And it's done everything exactly the way it should. The fact of the matter is that this stone, it works, and I can't fault it in that area. The 1000 grit side feels like 1000 grit, and it leaves about 1000 grit finish. The 6000 grit side feels like 6000 grit, and it leaves approximately a 6000 grit finish. And it whittles hair, no problem. The bases that are included with this thing are sort of gimmicky in my opinion. The bamboo base I'm probably just going to throw away. I'll never use it. And the rubber base here, well, I guess I will sort of use it to hold the stone, but this thing it's just not really worth anything in my opinion. And as a matter of fact, I think it actually sort of gets in the way. The thing here is that this is a water stone, so in order to use it properly and effectively, it has to be wet all the time. And having it in a bamboo base like this sort of adds another layer of complexity in that water, this will fill up with water and grit and all that stuff. And as you can see here, it sort of settles on the bottom, and this will have to be washed out before you flip sides. So every time you flip sides, you're gonna cross-contaminate the grit because it all settles in here. At least with this base, it kind of like washes through and it's a little bit easier to clean. This thing, in my opinion, is kind of worthless. The fact that this is a water stone, it means that it's fairly complex to use in terms of sharpening stones. Again, this has to be soaked for 10 to 15 minutes and it has to be kept wet all the time for it to be used effectively. So I just want to show you what's involved in actually using this. Oh no. So here's the thing, you don't have to soak this for like 10 minutes exactly, but what you do want to do is make sure that the entire stone is soaked through enough so that if you put more water on the surface of the stone as you're using it, it doesn't immediately soak into the stone. Now, this stone right now, as I'm looking at it on Amazon, costs $38.99 for this particular brand. There's other brands out there that look very similar to this. The stone looks exactly the same, but it's under a different brand name that are selling for a lot cheaper. I can't tell you that they're the same stone because I don't know. But we're talking about this stone, which is $38.99. The price will probably fluctuate after I release this video. For $38.99, I think that there are much better stones than this one right here. If you're going to be spending close to $40, at that point, at the $40 price point, you're kind of looking into a whole nother category of stones, in my opinion, which are a lot easier to use. And again, I'm not really sure who this stone is going to be for. If it's for a beginner, I'm not going to recommend this stone to a beginner because it's a very soft water stone and they're not really easy to learn on. The fact that this stone is bound together fairly softly, it works fine if you know what you're doing, but if you're just learning how to maintain angles and that sort of thing, you can kind of run into problems with a very soft water stone like this. It will do the job if you know what you're doing. However, if you do know what you're doing, you're probably not going to buy this stone. Again, because I think that there's a lot better options out there if you know what to look for. So what are some of those much better options? First off, you're going to be spending maybe $5 to $10 more, but you can get yourself a DMT fine diamond stone for around $44 to $45 at this point in time. So you're spending, you know, $5, $7, $10 more than that stone, and you get yourself a DMT fine diamond stone, which will sharpen any steel, and it's a much more beginner-friendly stone in my opinion. You can reprofile on this stone without a problem. The diamond stones cut extremely well, extremely efficient, and you don't have to soak this. You can just start sharpening on it right away. It can be used dry or it can be used wet, whatever your preference is. Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, your stone's dirty, you say. Not anymore. That means that by the time I'm done soaking this stone, just getting it ready to use, I'm pretty much done my entire sharpening process on this stone. Again, we're not talking about a whole lot more money here, you know, $10 maybe, depending on when you buy it, and you just get a much better, higher quality stone. And another thing with this stone is that it remains flat all the time. This stone's going to dish out after the first time you use it. It's a very soft water stone. That's to be expected, and you're going to have to do a lot of stone maintenance with this, which is just one extra thing that you have to do and have to worry about. With a DMT stone, you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So here you may or may not be able to see how we're already developing some dishing on the stone, and over time this will just get worse and worse and worse until you have like a huge concave area in here that needs to be flattened. Another stone that's going to be possibly a little bit more expensive depending on the current prices is the Spyderco medium ceramic stone. I still like this stone. I use it and I think it's a much better option than this guy right here. Again, this stone has a lot of the same benefits that the DMT stone does. It doesn't require water, it doesn't require soaking. The surface stays completely flat, basically forever. Occasionally you might have to flatten it with a diamond stone, but for your average user, you're never gonna run into that. This is a lifetime stone here if it's taken care of. It's a much easier stone to use. The surface is much harder. You don't have to worry about digging in or dishing out the stone. There's just a lot of advantages to this stone. Right now, this stone is going for maybe $50. So for $10 to $15 more than the Sharp Pebble 1000, 6000, I think you get a lot more usable and user-friendly stones than the whetstone. So that being said, I'm not going to recommend this stone either to a beginner or to someone who's more experienced. You know, if you search around on Amazon, you can find a stone that looks exactly like this one for a lot less money. I can't tell you if it's exactly the same because, to tell you the truth, I don't know. What I do know is that they look almost identical, and they probably are identical. So I'm not going to recommend this stone for a beginner or an advanced. I think that there's definitely better options out there in terms of sharpening stones, and these are 2 of them. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. So sorry for the lack of videos here lately, guys. You may or may not be able to tell from the audio in this video, but for the past 3 weeks I've been like completely sick, and I completely lost my voice and haven't really been able to talk very well. So as soon as I get like 100% better and can talk a little bit more without losing my voice completely, I'm going to be getting back into making a lot more videos. Hopefully we have a couple of collaborations, which I'm really excited about, coming up, and some new projects, as well as we're going to be reviewing some other stuff and just getting into a lot more videos in general. A lot of big video plans coming up this spring and summer, so stay tuned and bear with me here. Sorry about my voice, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.